Wherever we go, we discover the imprint of those who have traveled the way before us. When it comes to leaving a legacy and making an imprint, few forces are as powerful as the simple act of caring, of demonstrating one's respect and love for others by teaching, by helping, and by serving. From a simple beginning almost 100 years ago, such an idea has evolved, an idea that has made its imprint on mankind over the span of a century. On the 23rd of February, 1905, Paul Harris and 3 friends came together in a Chicago office, and Rotary Fellowship was born. Little did they know on that historic night that Rotary would grow to an association of nearly 30,000 clubs in over 160 countries, or that today, as it approaches its 100th birthday, Rotary would be a global force for good, bringing hope for a brighter future to millions of people around the world. Rotary's commitment to service began in 1907 with the construction of Chicago's first public lavatory. Thanks to the vision of founder Paul Harris, the Rotary ideal of service soon swept the world. As the strong force of service to others propelled the Rotary movement through the rest of the world, so did it extend to our own experience in North Texas. In the early 20s, Arlington was a settled little community on the transit line between the big cities of Dallas and Fort Worth. It was on this canvas that Rotary International was to make its imprint in Arlington. From the beginnings in Chicago in 1905, Rotary had come to North Texas. 2 traveling businessmen from Dallas visited a club in San Francisco and brought the idea back to form Dallas Rotary in 1912. 1 year later, in 1913, aided by the Dallas Rotarians, Fort Worth Rotary was created. Then, in 1923, the idea was brought to Arlington. The organizational meeting was held in the Arlington Journal office, then located on West Main. The charter banquet was held in the dining room of North Texas Agricultural College, now UTA. Officially chartered on June 11, 1923, the club's first president was Sam Wine, manager of Texas Electric Service Company. Tom Cravens, who operated a real estate office, was named vice president and became the club's second president. Just as Arlington Rotary evolved from other clubs, so too did our club foster the further expansion of the Rotary ideal. From our club, which began in 1923, have emerged in order the Hearst Euless Bedford Club in 1962, which in turn sponsored North Hills, Texas, the Great Southwest Rotary Club in 1963, which began Arlington Sunrise in 1987, and along with Arlington West, started the Mansfield Club in 1984. The Grapevine Club was begun by our club in 1967, which in turn sponsored Colleyville and Metroport. And our club was the sponsor for Arlington West in 1980, Arlington North in 1982, Arlington South in 1983, and Arlington Sunset in 2002. The Rotary Club of Arlington has always been an association of leaders. The early names of its members are found on parks, on schools, on buildings throughout our city. The imprint of service by Rotarians is felt throughout the fabric of our city. Few service club projects have had the lasting impact that the first community project undertaken by our club has had. Sam Wine, the first club president, wrote, "During the first year we were principally concerned with learning about Rotary. I believe our only project was the encouragement we gave to the city in purchasing the land for Meadowbrook Park, and Tom Cravens was largely responsible for that. After the park was started, the club purchased playground equipment for it. In some measure, the Arlington Park system can trace its beginnings to Rotary. 25 years later, the Rotary contribution to Arlington Parks and Recreation was repeated. Duncan Robinson, former president and secretary of the club, writes that Dr. Zach Bobo was a great president because he committed himself to providing the kids of Arlington new parks for playing games. He transformed us just after World War II from a dinner club into an organization of crusaders. In 1946, Bobo persuaded the relatives of the late Senator E.G. Center, one of the town's early newspaper editors, into giving us what is now Center Park, presently the site of the Optimus Youth Sports Program. He also persuaded other members to influence others to contribute land. Rotary acquired a lot located in northwest Arlington, and also a lot next to Northside School, which is now Kuchen, next to the church where we meet. Rotarians acquired the land and solicited contributions to equip these playgrounds for youth sports and activities. The debt on equipment purchases was retired, and these parks were subsequently deeded to the city in 1949 and 1950. Another contribution by Zach Bobo was the launching of the Hubcap. The publication was begun in 1946, and its pages tell the stories of parks and youth awards, international assistance, golf rivalries with the Lions Club and the Trophy Spittoon, future farmers, teachers, the Liars Award known as the Rotary Bull, ladies' nights, dairy herd improvement projects, community events, polio eradication, and exchange students. One of the most significant milestones occurred in 1988. It was in that year that the character of the club changed immeasurably, as Mary Jean Maloney became the first woman member. Today there are over 20 leading women in our club. They have been active club leaders and have served in all capacities as directors, committee chairs, and project leaders. For decades, Arlington Rotary Club has undertaken projects to recognize, encourage, and develop young people. One such program is the Outstanding Student Award, given each year to a boy and girl in every school in the Arlington Independent School District. This program has been ongoing for over 50 years. The commitment to youth reached a new level in the early 90s when the club adopted Webb Elementary School. The special needs of the children of Webb caught the interest of club members. The school is one of the most economically challenged in the community, and club projects have included facilities improvement, equipment acquisition, mentoring, field trips, and Christmas giving. The biggest undertaking of all is still underway. Through the Arlington Rotary Foundation, college scholarship assistance is provided to students who attend Webb, who stayed in school through the secondary years, met the required good citizen standards, and apply to college or vocational education when they have graduated from high school. In 2002, the club awarded its first scholarships, and 14 former Webb students found their way into local college-level programs. Years brought changes, as these photos might suggest. The club is especially grateful to the members who have been a part of the club for a long time. There are presently 40 members who were in the club 25 years ago. A number of multi-generation Rotarians have added a special dimension to the richness of the club's heritage and its energy for community service. Bob Cook, Jerry Mabus, and Don Mabus are our only three-generation Rotarians. Other multi-generation Rotarians include Slim and Al Bedsell Jr., Tom Cravens, uncle of our present Tom Cravens, Happy and Kay King, Graham and Greg Schott, Fred and Rick and Robert Bondurant, Ray and Rick Jenkins, Claude and Ernest Wildman, Emery Estes and Emery Estes Jr., Larry and Ryan Cox, Wick and Moody Alexander, Jim Orr and Jim Orr Jr. Change is inevitable. The Arlington Rotary is constantly being renewed with new members who bring new energy to vocational service. In the year we are just completing, we have welcomed over 20 such new members, each of whom makes a valuable contribution to the future energy and potential of the club. Arlington Rotary is proud of its past, but the true excitement is found in its future. As a dynamic, growing member of the family of Rotary clubs around the world, the men and women of Rotary in Arlington look forward to their continuing opportunities to sow the seeds of love in our club, in our families, in businesses, in our community, and through the resources of Rotary International and Rotary Foundation throughout the rest of the world. Today there is celebration. For tomorrow there is service.